Greetings from quarantine. It's the... God, is it Thursday? It feels like a Thursday.
It is a Thursday.
Good. It is Thursday, the 26th of March, 2020. And, yeah, greetings from quarantine. So, this is the habit of the present moment is quarantinis at around 3.
Yep.
3 was a couple of hours ago, so feeling good here, boys and girls. Can't beat a gin, apparently. This is what old age does to you.
Old age?
I don't know.
What?
I know. So, I'm not going to ramble on, and I generally start videos with that statement and then proceed to ramble on for an extended period of time, but I'm going to try. Without getting into the lunacy that is the coronavirus pandemic and the fact that everybody's locked in their houses and that the people who are actually staying locked in their houses are saving everybody else and the wankers who are roaming the streets and infecting everybody. Fuck you, by the way. Just fuck you all. I'm not going to pretend like that's not the case. We're all thinking it, and fuck you. To everybody else who's sitting tight and living on baked beans and all the other stuff, you guys keep it coming. You live the dream. This is going to suck for a little while, but, you know, on the plus side...
So it's I dream of beans.
I dream of beans. On the plus side, you've got all that time you've always wanted to pursue that thing you always wanted to do, to write that book, to paint that painting, to do that art project you're always talking about not having the time to do. So if you're fortunate enough to be able to do that, do it. Take the opportunity. You know, kind of, it's not every day that the government says sit at home in your underwear and do your thing. So don't waste it. Don't waste it all just watching Netflix. That said, a good recommendation. Unfortunately, it's not on Netflix. It's on Shudder, and I'd love to be sponsored by them. That would be really useful to have some money coming in. But Shudder is basically... I am not sponsored by them. I'm just confirming that thing straight out. Is a horror streaming service. It's got some amazing stuff on it. The UK offering is substantially less awesome than the US offering, unfortunately. I'm not saying you could get the US offering by kind of spending a few extra squiddles on a VPN, but, you know, if I was to say something irresponsible like that, that would be a fairly not a bad way to go about getting access to the other content. Don't sue me. The show we watched, and it wasn't really a show. So about a month ago, just because we were looking at the stacks and stacks of DVDs we've got sitting around the house, and movies and streaming services and everything else that we just have around the house, I suggested to Pip that we throw the towel in with Netflix. We can always pick it up later if we wanted to. And as a result, we've started watching more films. It's been a really fun little journey where it's not been a case of, oh, well, you know, we've seen this thing before. We'll just stick on Red Dwarf or Blackadder or any of these other kind of just random shows that you're just kind of watching to kill time. So our watching has been a lot more intentional in the evenings and in our downtime. And as a result, we've seen a lot more really different stuff. We've won with a few of them. We've not won with a few others. But off the top of my head, we watched a short on Shudder. See, that kind of segued back around. Only took about 4 minutes. Called The Quiet Room, which was super interesting. It was really, really well shot. It felt well written. There was maybe one more scene on the end than it needed to be a fully well, you know, it was, but that's me just quibbling because I'm critical of everything. But
Why?
Are you going to come in on this video or not?
No.
No. You sure?
I can come away.
Are you just going to scream?
I'm not going to scream. I'll be
Shout. This is my shouting person from the couch. Anyway, so what do you have to say about The Quiet Room?
It was good.
It was a...
It was good. This is my... there you go.
Okay.
That's okay. I'll go back to let you go. Because I have Jen over here and it's where I belong.
Oh, threats.
No, just hiding.
So, it was a really kind of interesting kind of LGBT show. It was it was about 20 minutes long. Super inclusive, really expertly written. A guy loses his partner and subsequently tries to kill himself, and as a result of that he ends up in this psych ward with a bunch of other people, and there is a demon stalking the halls. I'm not going to tell you any more than that, but that is pretty much all we needed, and it's 20 minutes of your life and greatly worth the time spent. There was another film that we saw. I think it was on Prime, but I think it's on Shudder at the present moment. It's called Nekrotronic. I think it was an Australian necromancer contemporary digital. It was really fun.
That was really fun.
I think it was Nekrotronic. I will put the proper name in the doobly-doo. And that was just a fun movie. There's no more to say about it than that. It was kind of brightly colored. It was lunacy. It was dumb idiot sidekick best friend who trips up everything every step along the way. People effing and blaring and carrying on, and there are demons and monsters and creatures and a bit of this, a bit of that. Lots of bloodshed. People getting dismembered. It was just a hoot to watch.
It's from New Zealand, wasn't it?
I thought it was Australia.
I thought it was New Zealand.
Well, do you want to look it up?
I can look it up.
That'd be helpful.
Am I supposed to be helpful now?
You don't have to be helpful, but if you're going to chime in, you better be helpful. Other than that, both of us have been staying relatively busy. In between the bouts of existential panic, and the sleepless nights and all the other stuff, we're trying to just keep a sturdy routine happening. We're in bed at a time, we're up at a time, everything's kind of, we take our meals in places that aren't sitting on the couch. So we go and sit at a table and light a candle and take a moment to just be in places. We're very fortunate in what we have here in this new place. We've got a little outside space. We've got kind of big windows and a little extra space. So kind of if I want to be separate to Pip, or she wants to be separate to me, or we want to hang out together, we've got the space to do pretty much anything we want, which is wonderful.
Nekrotronic.
Nekrotronic.
With a K.
With a K. It took me forever to work that out. I googled every variation after someone else suggested it to me.
Let's see.
I think it's Australian.
Well, it had like Monica Bellucci in it, so.
Monica Bellucci.
The bad lady.
The bad lady. Oh, she was fantastic.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see where it was filmed.
Okay. So other than that, while Pip just kind of stalls
just
for time,
scrolling through things.
I'm going to kind of more or less call it quits there. I've just finished up a short review, and Pip did a review for a book series that's being released in hardcover. I think for the first time ever. It was supposed to be at StokerCon. We are super bummed that StokerCon, as of the point I'm talking to you now, it's been postponed. I'm kind of hoping it's going to be resurrected later on in the year, because we'd really like to do that. But it'll be a very different kind of convention. We, of course, went off and we got the marryings. Gee, that thing will not focus. Autofocus.
He said yes.
Yeah. So we went in, did the service on Friday. It was pretty much almost cancelled multiple times throughout last week, and we were just glad to go into the registry office with our two wonderful witnesses who have been amazing, just brilliant.
You were correct, it's Australian.
Told you. And we signed our paperwork, and then we went out. We grabbed a coffee at a closed cafe with our friends.
Yep.
They shut the cafe specially for us. We sat around. They were just so wonderful. And then we pretty much have been under self-isolation since then. So, like I said, today is day 6 of our isolation. The country started its own isolation on Tuesday, which was about 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Well, as of kind of late Monday evening. And it seems...
But neither of us are sick currently.
Yeah, we're kind of hoping it stays at that point. With all the anxiety about everything, you just try and read it and check in with the stuff and then move on with other things. Otherwise, you just drive yourself crazy crawling up the walls, worrying about stuff. So, yeah, I'm going to get away and I will check in at another point soon-ish. We have stories to write over the weekend, which are shaping up pretty interestingly. Mine's going to be a Lovecraftian tale of, well, it's going to have Lovecraftian undertones, but it's primarily about kind of families and gaslighting and polio. So, fun and games there.
Mine's an urban legend.
And Pip's writing an urban legend.
Yep, in Haiti.
In Haiti. Is that how you say it?
Haiti?
Haiti.
There we go.
That's it. So we're gonna unleash those on the world over the weekend.
Yep.
Hopefully we're not gonna run out of gin before then. I think that's probably the biggest panic we have. It's like you can... What did that guy in the... It was Pitch Black, I think. And the gentleman says that you can kind of get through anything, like, without the necessities as long as you have the luxuries. So we are thankfully we've got an abundance of necessities, which is great.
Yep.
But luxuries are probably going to start stripping off soon enough. We're going to view this entire project as a success if we make it the entire duration with neither of us having to go to the shops or to do any of the above.
Yeah.
And we're going to work our fucking hardest to make sure that happens. I hope you guys are all doing safe, or being safe, staying safe, looking after yourselves, and not doing anything silly. As before, the best current advice about COVID-19 is in the doobly-doo. That I'll put that as the first item on this video because that seems to be the most relevant thing. And it seems like bad information is everywhere, so it's not much I can do, but at least the good stuff is getting out there and the right information. Other than that, till next time, I'm going to sod off. I'll see you later. Just bye.